an adventure awaits. Our adventuring party began making their way towards the Way Inn. During their day's travel, they ran into an elderly man and a young child, whom were traveling the opposite way. The man asked if the party could watch the boy for a few moments while he relieved himself in the nearby forest. Upon trying to make conversation with the boy, named Arthrid, they found out he comes from a quite troubled past, and cannot in fact feel pain, as demonstrated live in front of them. A few soon realized that the old man has yet to return from the forest, so Kai, Jin, and Siegfried went to investigate. Within the forest, they met Jeremy, a small talking tree snake, but found no signs of the old man. As the party regrouped, seemingly taking the new lost child under their wing for now, they continued on their way to the Way Inn. But before making it there, they were stopped once again by a strange traveling salesman of sorts named Jishi Albani Jin Orinoco Naruthu I, or Jackson for short. He convinced the party, whom were clearly split on the decision, to spend a good sum of their combined gold and purchase 2 pets, a small baby phoenix and a colorful little creature known as a Zora. After sitting down to view some fireworks, seemingly summoned up by this Jackson creature, the party settled down for the night. And after an interesting interaction between some talking horses and a couple of members of the party, they continued on their way as the sun peeked over the horizon.
How much further until the Way Inn?
At this point, 2.5 hours.
I'll probably take leads as I'm the chunkiest person here.
Alright, if you want to roll a perception check for me. You notice up ahead of you, cresting a small hill, walks a kind of older elvish man carrying a large backpack with different kind of, looks like maybe sticks, long poles and stuff sticking out of it. And kind of perks up as he sees you, and as fast as this old man can, kind of starts hurrying along towards you down the road.
Here comes another side quest.
I don't want another side quest. I want money.
Just ignore him, maybe he'll go away.
As he approaches, he kind of gets in front of you guys as much as possible. Hello!
Excuse me, move aside.
Can I interest you in just a moment? I need but a moment of your time. I'm offering gold for a moment of your time. I just need one of you.
No, this is what my dad said. He said that that's people who are trying to take you to the second location. You never come back from the second location.
No. It'll happen right here. 50 gold for one of you. I have this contraption I've created, as he motions to his backpack. This contraption here, it captures your likeness onto a print onto a piece of leather in full color, and it will stay there. And you can like hang it on your wall and such.
You mean like a portable painting?
Yes, in a way, except unlike paints, it doesn't fade and drip over time. It dries instantly.
Is this magic?
A little bit.
And 50 gold, just like that.
Yes.
You're not trying to steal our souls, are you?
Do I look like someone who can steal souls?
I'm insight checking.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Does not look like a man who's looking to steal your soul. He is very genuinely excited to test out this contraption. Doesn't seem to have any ill intent at all. It will take me about 5 minutes to get all this out of the bag. I move a little bit slower than I used to.
I walks up to the old man for the picture.
Elderly man has contracted this quad pod. He finds a place in the dirt to kind of put rocks around it, keeps it stable. And the last thing he pulls out of his bag is this really big, probably like 1.5 by 1.5 box that he unwraps, that's kind of wrapped in all these hand-stitched quilts, and pulls out and sets on top of this. And it's very much just like a bigger version of like 1800s cameras. And he puts this kind of blanket over both sides that'll act as a hood that keep light out. And you hear him clicking around inside on his end as he comes back out. So, you, madam, were you willing to go first?
Yeah, I'm here.
As he points at Kai. If you can, please just step forward and put that blanket over you so we don't get any of the background trees and light and stuff. We want it to only capture you.
I'll turn around to the group, give them a thumbs up, and then do what the old man says.
All right. As you step in and put the blanket over back of you, it gets really dark. You don't see much. You can kind of see the outline of this box in front of you, but it kind of just looks like a flat surface in front of you. And you hear a bunch of kind of clicking and clacking going on the other end as about 30 seconds pass. Perfect! It is done! It'll take about a minute to print.
Oh, that's it?
I'm gonna lean over to
Uh,
Orsik. It's probably not for the best that you use that. Remember, she has lice. I still got a treat.
Ah, that's
you
right.
guys notice, though, as Kai steps out from the underside of this blanket. Kai, you feel the same, but everyone else notice her face has aged about 50 human years. It is wrinkly, dry.
No!
Collectively look back, and this old man has collapsed the camera straight back down way faster than he set it up, all into kind of this handheld bag, and is picking it up and turning to run.
I'm gonna chase after it with my stick.
Okay. Make a acrobatics check.
I'm gonna
I'm
take
gonna give
out
myself
a bow and
guidance.
arrow. I'm gonna try to slow him down, right?
So,
Go ahead and roll the
21.
hit then. 25 in total. And a 14 to hit. Mercedes, you immediately just pull out your stick. You whip it right in front of his legs before he can really get anywhere. And as he starts to fall, Oryx, you just instinctively grab an arrow, let it go, and it hits like the sole of his foot as he's starting to fall. Just plops face first on the ground with an arrow sticking out of the sole of his foot. And he just starts crawling, trying to, please don't, no.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
walk over and quickly like take the arrow out of his foot, but I'm gonna pin him. Yeah.
I'm gonna pin him to the ground.
I'm going to
Okay.
assist.
All right, so you can go and roll with advantage there, and I'm gonna count that as another point of damage as you rip the pointed arrow out of the sole of his foot. Nope, that's a 4. Like, he gets one elbow out before Sig just dives down and pins him to the ground. As the arrow gets ripped out, his foot is like gushing blood now. It is not good. Mercedes, go ahead and roll an investigation check for me. You turn around. Where his camera was is a small coin pouch sitting on the ground right there that has 50 gold in it. And you start going through his pockets. You find another 100 gold and 2 other separate coin pouches of 50 each. And nothing else.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold the pouches of money in my arm. I'm gonna look to Siegfried or Orsik to get him up. And be like, you better start talking.
I told you the truth. I was offering 50 gold to test this device.
You change your back.
It'll happen on its own within the day.
I would roll insight on this.
Go ahead, and I think Sig, was that what you want to do also?
Yeah. Yours is way higher than mine. Mine's is +0.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Nice.
23. I don't think I could get any higher than that.
He is most definitely telling you the truth that within the day, Kai should change back, and he genuinely just needed to test his device and was willing to pay you for it. He just withheld some information.
How much money do I have in my arms right now?
You have
Like
150 gold.
Siegfried, stand him up.
I'll do so, but I'm not letting him go.
I understand.
Okay.
Mercedes, go ahead and give him back 50 gold, but we're taking the 100 gold as compensation.
I have a healing word prepared. I'll go ahead and give him that. And then I'll go ahead and put the money in his pocket, and I'll be like, you better be upfront about what you're doing to people and letting them know.
What was it supposed to do?
If I can just show you in my bag.
I'm gonna let you go. Try to run. I'll have you know that these fangs are not for show.
I don't doubt it. Just please, it wasn't for nothing. As
I'll
he
let you go.
reaches into his bag and pulls out this probably about 5x7 leather canvas that begins to fade in a perfect likeness and portrait of Kai, just with no background.
But why does it do the, like, why did it do the thing to her face? Juliet's definitely not great at whispering, just for the record.
I can still hear you.
I feel like that
It's
wasn't
still in testing.
You should test it on yourself.
I did. This
that
is
what happened
permanent.
to you?
Yes,
Oh.
it's no longer permanent.
And you did this to our friend without letting her know?
I thought it was fixed. I really did. I'm sorry.
You should let people know there's a risk.
And he points to the one that I'm assuming one of you grabbed of Kai's portrait. It's
So
supposed to
let
do
it
that
sit.
without the side effects.
I'll take 40 of the gold, so just leave him 10, and say in Elvish, this is for emotional trauma.
Oh, Kai speaks Elvish too.
he kind of just accepts his fate and just stuffs his camera and quad pod back in his backpack, throws it over his shoulder, and just sheepishly takes the 10 gold and puts it back on his belt, and just kind of looks at all of you and slowly starts to move further down the path from the way you guys came.
How much for each person?
16.5 gold each.
Oh, I have money again. I didn't know pets were expensive. Where I was at, you kind of just, grab them and take them home.
On your shoulder, Zora has been there the whole time and is just kind of like trying to get a look at your face and is just very confused about this entire encounter. Appearing next to you is a floating spectral image of your old likeness. And Zora just kind of looks between them.
Oh, I look like a raven.
You'll know if he manages to get this actually perfected and turns it into like a filter. I feel like he can make a killing like that.
That's true, but I feel like he's too incompetent for that to happen.
Thinking of it, snap something. Snap. It'll come to me later.
Canonically invent Snapchat.
I'll just spend my time bonding with the Zora.
Okay, go ahead and make an animal handling check for me. It communicates its emotions to you through its use of silent image that it can cast at will. And it kind of just like is more mocking you, and it's very much having fun with the situation. What I would say the D&D equivalent of putting emojis in the sky to communicate with you. So Orsik, as you kind of open up your pocket, the bird, even with all the commotion, was kind of curled up, just sleeping, and you just hear awakes, and one eye just looks up at you. And it can speak telepathically to you and basic thoughts, and it just kind of communicates a basic hello.
Oris kind of goes, ugh. Hey, and then he closes his pocket.
All right.
Well, no one told y'all to buy it.
Oh, I think I see the inn up ahead.
Is there an inn up ahead?
There is, in fact, an inn up ahead. As you begin to see just the tippy tops of a large walled compound peek over the horizon. The road splits off in kind of a Y and curves into a very large gatehouse. As you begin to get closer, you see the gatehouse itself looks to be the size of a small keep. Can definitely house many soldiers within, and atop it's probably 15 to 20 foot tall walls you see scattered about at regular intervals. Many individuals with bows, crossbows, and you see large kind of trebuchet catapult-like devices that appear to be locked and loaded at the time, though the gate is down. And as you approach, you can see the bridge that connects across to this gatehouse is about 50 feet long, about 10, 12 feet wide, and it leads into a deep pit. Just at a glance, you can't see the bottom of this pit. And you can tell by looking at the mechanism that this bridge can turn at least 90 degrees to stop people from walking in. And you see the guards kind of atop the gatehouse look down at you, and you see one of the guards turn around, and you hear a very loud sound, appears to be amplified in some way. Hey, Rusorth! Nope, that's not the voice. I am stuck in the horse's voice.
I was like, oh, the guards are horses?
Everybody's a Rupert.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Rusorth, we got some newbies coming in. I'm stuck in it. It's forever. Everyone the rest of the session is going to talk like the horses. The voices I've made are gone. You begin to see as you guys begin to cross the bridge, not tall, but very kind of bulky, shiny green-scaled dragonborn in full plate armor, long sword and shield on the back. And she kind of walks up to you. Hey there, welcome to the Way Inn. I'm Rusorth. For those who speak Elvish or can read Elvish, you see is the word bravery tattooed in Elvish on her right hand as she reaches out and kind of shakes hands with those approaching. And you see a silver necklace depicting what looks to be balanced scales resting on a warhammer kind of displayed prominently outside of her armor. So what brings you to the Way Inn today?
Looking from work. Looking for a place to sleep.
Well, you've come to the right place then. Let me show you around. Your first time here?
Yep.
Great, great. We always love new people. So here we have the main building as she motions to a large 3-story, 3-winged building that probably is bigger than every building combined in bowshot that you were just in. You see many people coming in and out from the door right now. You kind of hear some muffled music coming from behind. And as you see, as she motions around, there's many different shops, stables, many other buildings that are flanking and around this kind of walled compound. So we have pretty much any shop a traveler might need, rooms to stay at the inn, food, whatever you're looking for. If you ever run into trouble, my name's Rusorth, head of the guard here. I'm always around if you need anything.
Thank you kindly, miss.
As she's kind of led you kind of halfway towards the inn door and breaks off and heads towards the main gate and begins calling up. You hear some kind of distant talking between her and some of the guards atop the wall. So you guys are heading into the main building?
Yep.
Yes.
Before I walked in, I would have lagged behind from the party and told them I'll be right back, and I would have walked outside.
Okay. I'm guessing you're looking for what I'm thinking you're looking for?
Yes.
Yes, and you do indeed find it on the right corner.
Okay. And then once I see that, I'll walk in.
All right. As you head into the kind of old Western saloon style swinging like half doors, you begin to hear some very interesting music come through. A very lively atmosphere. And this one main room, you can see many rooms splitting off from the side. This place is packed right now, and it's still like mid-morning. Most tables are full, probably about 150 tables in all, like beautifully carved. Each table is their own style, different colored woods with matching chairs, a huge bar along the back wall with a huge kind of double door going into the back kitchen. People coming in and out in this kind of like purple gold inlaid uniform with vests. Just kind of simple, but very nice and very professional. Everyone looks the same on the staff. They don't look humanoid. They're 2 legs, 2 arms. But they almost look like constructs. And they are all identical. Handing out plates, drinks, cups. Right now, at this point, you see at least 10, 15 of them moving about. Off in the corner, kind of a light blue curtain is pulled where you can tell the music's this very strange music is coming from. And you just see a bunch of lit silhouettes of what looks kind of like a full band almost behind this curtain. And as you look around, there's a sign up front that says, sit anywhere, we'll be with you in a moment.
Miss Juliet, are we gonna share a room?
We definitely can. I'm not opposed.
I would love to. I honestly kind of assumed we were staying together.
Yeah.
Like a slumber party.
I've always wanted to have one.
It is so fun. You would love it.
Yes,
You have one?
Siegfried, Jin, and I can share a room, and then you 3 can, share your own room.
I would really prefer to be on my own, thank you.
But that means you have to share a room with Arthur.
Oh, that's a good point. Arthur's got to stay with somebody.
As you are kind of talking as a group at the entrance, you see this tall, kind of well-built, but clearly in his later years, elven man, but very, like, skin well-kept, kind of how Mercedes was thinking old elves look. Kind of very pale white skin and a long, well-kept red beard. Red and black suit with a purple cape over it that you can tell as he approaches is definitely in line with the attire that these construct servers are wearing as he moves around. As he approaches you kind of with this big smile on his face. I know some adventurers when I see them. Welcome, welcome to the Way In. I'm Daruvian. It's a pleasure to meet you and have your business.
Yeah, likewise. Are you the owner of this place?
I am indeed. Founded it many centuries ago. We dining together?
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I have a table over here, off in the corner with a wonderful booth to fit you all, including the little one here. As he motions over to Arthur, who kind of doesn't even really give him a glance.
Yes, can we get a kids menu?
And some colored wax.
Right. Definitely need some colored wax.
Colored wax.
I can definitely
Just pop
try.
a reference.
You mean a crayon?
Yeah.
It's cute.
So what have we canonically invented? Snapchat and crayons now already? Leads you guys over to a very large booth. It looks like it would seat about 15, but definitely for you 7, it's quite comfortable. Motions around. I'll have one of my servers come by in just a moment, but I'd like to talk. Where are you from? Where are you going? Can Daruvian help out in any way? I've been around the block. Used to be an adventurer like yourselves.
Northeast.
I am from the city of Gontelgrim.
Wonderful place, though. I've been by a couple times.
Juliet, where are you from?
It's a city that I would rather not talk about.
Oh.
Mr. Daruvian, sir, is there a place to check out any work?
He motions over to the other side of the room, and there is a large corkboard full of different papers and pamphlets and stuff. As a previous adventurer myself, I make it known for different quests. You know, we're a big stopover here, kind of in the middle of nowhere, so check out the board. It's updated almost hourly.
Well, that's good. Well, that's all I need to know. I'm ready for the menu.
Well, and he turns around and kind of whistles, and you see one of these servers immediately looks over, sets down a drink, and comes over with puts a tray under his arm and pulls out a notebook and just looks at Daruvian. One of my servers here. Gladly take your order, and I'll be back to check in later.
What's the server made out of?
Make a perception check.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Oh, no.
It's got 2 legs and 2 arms. It could be a humanoid.
Right,
really
they're
could
probably
be.
just wearing like a fun costume. It's one of those
Yeah.
theme restaurants. Also, we're
I could-
inventing Chuck E. Cheese, guys.
Yeah, Charles Cheddar's is what we're gonna call a tavern.
Each one kind of has a different tie, a bow tie ever so slightly different, of different colors and patterns. Seems maybe a way to identify them separately. This one in front of you kind of has a red, blue, and yellow kind of wavy horizontal line pattern going through it, as it's still just kind of standing there looking across the table with its notepad out.
Wait, how much does it cost?
A dinner plate is 1 gold per plate.
Oh,
Drinks are included.
Jesus.
Free refills.
That's a,
We do have
that's a lot
specials
of
though.
money.
What are the specials today?
We have a braised ale with a bosenberry tart and a glass of brandy. We also have roasted grouse with cinnamon and poached eggs, along with a glass of cider.
I'll
A
have
boiled
that.
eggs and rye bread with a tanker of beer.
Yeah, I'll have the roasted goose.
What's the soup of the day?
We have a duck soup with fries and a mug of perry.
Oh,
Oh,
Mm.
Juliet definitely would like duck soup and perry. What's the price on that? I'm just curious. So.
The roasted goose with cinnamon, along with the duck soup and perry, are 5 silver each, along with all you can eat. So once you are done, if you would like more, we're happy to provide another plate.
Do we have vegetarian and pescatarian options, please?
Yes, we do. What would you like? We can fix almost anything.
Could I have sauteed mushrooms and maybe a pasta would be nice? White sauce or like a butter blend to kind of mix the sauteed mushrooms, please?
Ooh, an Alfredo sauce?
Certainly.
I'll take a steak, and can you switch the asparagus for broccoli by any chance?
Certainly.
Ooh.
I'll take the one with the poached egg.
That was the roasted goose and cinnamon and poached eggs.
That one.
I'll have half a roast chicken, red snapper, a couple sausages, and just a water for me to drink, please. I don't drink no more.
The server looks down at Arthur. And for you? And Arthur's just kind of like drawing with his finger on the table, but like nothing's on the table. He's just like drawing in his mind.
He'll
A
have
nice grilled
tenders.
cheese. Where is Arthur's colored wax? Isn't he supposed to be able to entertain himself?
I will have to inquire about this. I do not know what that is, but I will get back with you.
Okay, at least
Okay.
you parchment a piece of charcoal.
This apron that he has on across the front has like multiple different small pockets, and you can see he pulls out kind of and unfolds a piece of paper and sets it on the table. Though it was folded, it has no creases on it. And he pulls out a small, like, fit within your finger piece of charcoal and sets it on the table.
This is fancy. I've never been anywhere like this.
Is
I
anyone
mean,
in this
it's okay.
is anyone in this establishment giving me odd looks?
Make a perception check. There's a lot of tables in here, and this is a big room, probably one of the biggest like single rooms that most of you all have ever been in your life. Everyone's like really just minding their own business, enjoying the music, you know, constantly getting more food, drinks. Some people are like out of it drunk, but in all of this, you don't notice anyone giving you any glances or looking in your direction. It seems like this is just, strange people come through all the time. It's a traveler's rest stop, adventuring stop. Like, there's.
Aw, Siegfried feels normal here.
Oh.
Barely, yes.
Right. There's probably a lot of redheads in this bar.
I mean,
That's sure. There's 2 at this table right now.
You do notice other redheads, including Daruvian Redbeard, walking around.
That's right. He's also a redhead. See, they like you in this town.
So what is
Man.
the roll to make a origami swan out of the napkin?
What else
Make
coming
a
in
dexterity
robot
check.
you?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but it happened.
Well, we'll go with the
Sorry.
first one.
Yeah.
12. These are thick napkins. Like, they are high class, really good, like, high absorption napkins. You eventually make a semi-identifiable origami swan.
Orsik looks at it and he says, "This was supposed to be a swan." And then he pushes it away from himself.
Hey, it's better than I can do.
Could I try?
Yep, so Cayenne Mercedes, it's kind of like unfolding itself a lot and kind of having to hold it together as much as you can. And if you hold it there, you might be able to identify that, yeah, this is a swan. Sure. Siegfried, yours holds up on its own and you kind of set it on the table. It's a little bit more identifiable than Orsk's. Still not, everyone will walk up and be like, oh, that's a swan. But, most people will walk up and be like, oh, it's a swan. As you guys are all folding your napkins, your multicolored tie waiter comes back with both hands having 3 trays stacked up on each side, perfectly balanced.
Wow.
As he slides over, flicks his hand, and the top plates just begin landing in each spot, just kind of harsh, but nothing on the plate really moves, and it just settles right in front of you. And so out comes 2 roasted goose with cinnamon and poached eggs, sauteed mushrooms, and pasta with kind of a butter blend, steak and broccoli, roast chicken red snapper with sausage, grilled cheese and tomato soup, and I ran out of space, so whatever else you had said is also delivered. And he heads off and starts taking the order at another nearby table.
But Mr. Jin, where are you from? You never told us.
I come from the city of Reth.
Where's that?
It's far east of here.
East. East, like you gotta take a boat or like a walk east?
Yeah, it's a long walk from here.
Oh.
What do you guys usually do?
Depends on the person. Everyone's skilled at something.
Are you like an artist in town?
Correct, yes.
Sounds like a nice place.
It does. So is it still within the continent of Faerun, or is it beyond?
Located in Akanu.
Ah.
Let's see,
Ah, you did come a long way.
Yes.
And I thought I came a long way. By the way, for reference, Siegfried eats the food, he eats it bone and all.
I expect nothing less.
We've been
Hey,
traveling
Orsik.
for a couple days now.
Yes.
I think the best time,
Mm-hmm.
more than any, would be to discuss what's everybody's motive. I mean, we all came here for coin, yes, but I'm sure you all have plans as well.
You should definitely go first and tell us your motive.
I mean, like I said, I've traveled a long way. This is my first time in this region. I've heard stories, wanted to see the place for myself.
Do you like it so far?
The time I've had here has been pretty interesting already.
Good. Mine is I want to become famous.
Doing what?
Adventuring, of course. More so for my father's sake than my own, to be honest.
You have daddy issues too, huh?
Oh, no. I like my father. He's a good man. I just want him to have a nice and easy life since he, more or less retired. After all, being the father of a famous adventurer does have its perks.
What's your dad's
That is-
name?
My father's name is Fargrim Battlehammer.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Aww.
Yeah, he was once known as the Smith of the Crag Mountains.
Oh.
So
But he has arthritis now, so...
oh.
So
Felt
your
that.
goals are to make your dad as proud of you as you are of him.
Something like that.
So-
I just want him to live a easy
Oh,
life.
that's really cute.
So wholesome.
So wholesome.
Well, I want money to send home to my dad.
I knew we had something in common.
My dad is Elisar Chrysandorel. He owns the Blush Cap Apothecary back in Burgos.
Does that make your full name Mercedes Carsandorel?
My name is actually Mercedes Cjbeards. Well, I picked it myself, but I mean, I go by Chrysandorel, but I thought for my work, I didn't want, my dad to worry about me, so I changed my name so that way he wouldn't know what kind of shenanigans I got into.
Hold up, are you a runaway?
No.
But the way you were making it sound, Mercedes, is that you don't want to be found.
Well, it's not that I don't want to be found. I don't want to cause anybody any trouble, especially because I already feel like I've caused enough trouble as it is.
I don't think you have been causing any trouble.
That's because you don't know what I've done.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not that bad, 10 being, oh my god, please forgive my sins bad.
I don't really look at things, I guess, in a normal sense the way other people do. What people do with what they do is their business, but I kind of feel a little responsible for what I did. That's why I changed my last name, so that way, if I did get into trouble, it wouldn't go back to my dad.
Y'all are making me miss my dad.
So
I guess I should go next. Let's just say it's dealing with my anger issues.
A nice CBD oil could help with that.
Trust me, I've tried a lot of things. Not much else helps.
Go ahead.
Have you tried
Siegfried.
meditation?
have you tried playing instruments?
Have you tried a nice cup of tea?
Could I have the party make perception checks, please? Minus 6.
You can tell this conversation is making him uncomfortable.
There is always a way. You will find yours.
I'm hoping so.
I am just currently looking to do some good in the world. For now. To make up for some things that I have done. I mean, money helps because I need a place to stay and food to eat.
But what if she's a princess? She is from a big city.
What if she escaped the life of being a princess and dreamt the life of an adventurer?
Oh, wow. That sounds like a great story for a
Just picturing
book.
you guys having this conversation directly in front of Juliet.
Yep.
I think we are.
She is super amused by this. She thinks this is very, very funny.
She was probably set up for an arranged marriage and just, didn't want to do it.
No,
She
that
didn't
is
want
spicy.
to.
I think you guys might be romanticizing my life a little more than...
What if she was in a
Very.
crazy war?
Yes.
And she's like a strong battle maiden who's like famous.
And she found love on the battlefield, and she's currently looking for the man or woman who swing her heart. In the Icewind Dales, that would be
No.
interesting.
Juliet, Winter Warrior Princess.
That does sound pretty badass.
Why do all of your options involve love? Orsik, is there somebody special in your life that you're thinking of?
Oh,
Currently, no. What do you ask?
You keep bringing it up, so I thought maybe you were thinking of
I
a specific instance in your life that was making you consider that an option.
You have a
Other-
secret kid.
Does
I
Orsik
hope-
have a secret kid?
Oh,
Oh,
no,
wow.
I don't feel comfortable with any of this. Do you know what, Juliet? I will respectfully no longer romanticize your life.
Anyway,
we,
what's your reason
we-
for being out here, guy?
Oh.
I'm just here.
Were
There's
the
not
ones
much
too
to
boring?
I always wanted to travel, so I'm traveling.
What were your folks like, Kai?
Oh, you will love them. They're just the most fun and craziest. Like, shit goes down in the forest. They're more of my caretakers. I was like the community baby.
Oh, this is one of
So-
those cults where they like raise children in a collective.
Kyle, you were in a cult?
You in a commune?
You know
or
what? I
cult?
probably might be. There wasn't a lot of kids my age.
Look, to be fair, I probably was, but I got kicked out, so
You got kicked from home?
I was a year old and my parents picked me up. The ones I call my parents now.
You were adopted too?
Yep.
You too? Oh, I'm adopted.
I
Right,
would
we
admit,
adopted
I
Arthur.
too was raised by
we
someone
did not.
else.
Oh,
Other than ours, does anyone here actually know who their real parents are?
We do.
Mm-mm.
We do.
We'll all agree that Juliet's dad is obviously the king of somewhere.
My father is not the king of somewhere.
Oh, well, should we get some water, get stretch the legs, bathroom break, snack,
Yeah, that sounds
snack,
good.
Yep,
Snack
that sounds
break.
good right now.
yeah.
Yes, where is Mr. Redbeard?
Darvian's probably like 6 or 7 tables away, and he kind of like instinctively hears his name even over the hustle and bustle of the crowd, and just kind of like nods to you with like a 1-second symbol as he
Ah.
finishes up a conversation with someone else and comes over. Yes, how can I help you?
Yes, sorry to bother you. We meant to ask this earlier, but how much are rooms here?
It is 5 silver pieces for the night for a 1 bed, 1 gold
Ooh.
for a 2 bed, and 1.5 gold for a 3 bed. And that does include bath services too, so 1 bath per day for individuals of rooms, and room service provided straight to your door if you'd like meals inside. Though you do still have to pay for the plates.
So I take out 3 gold and 5 silver, and I say, "It's good to know the allies that you accompany yourself with. So this is on me for answering my question earlier."
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Hey.
nice.
Hey, thanks, Jin.
He paid for our rooms for tonight.
We have 1 3-bedroom, a 2-bed, and 2 1-beds, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go get keys then. And he
Thank-
heads off.
They're suggesting that we take a little of our community dues and make a pot for us to put money into, so that way we can just use that to pay for everybody in one go. Like maybe
Yeah.
out of our payments, maybe 2 gold a person into the community pot.
I would go with that.
Who would carry the pot?
Mercedes.
Oh, I certainly don't mind carrying the pot. I won't use it for anything but our stuff to pay for dinner and rooms.
I was
That's
going to
a
say she
doubt.
was the most trustworthy, and then she said that.
I had to do the books back at home, so I certainly would take up the responsibility with the utmost care and consideration.
While y'all are doing that, I guess we'll go check out the job board.
So there are many things up here. I'm going to summarize for A, what I have prepared, and B, so that I don't read you like 50 jobs. The first one that stands out to you, big bold red letters, says Wanted, Dead or Alive, Bone Crusher, Orc Chieftain in Highmoor. Warning, very heavily armed and dangerous. Reward 1,000 gold pieces. See
damn.
Thurkard in room 302.
That sounds scary. I don't know if I want to fight orcs.
Goblin Encampment. A goblin encampment has appeared near the south end of the Misty Forest. They have been there for days and don't seem to be aggressive, but we can't be so sure. Find out what they're doing. If they're a threat, please dispatch with them. Modest reward available. See Amelia in room 128.
Guys, we could rehabilitate some goblins.
Like when
You
we
have a
first
board board?
met.
Didn't you
Did
say?
they have a mighty Borkborg of their
Yes,
own?
Yeah,
if
I
you
believe these
will.
are the same ones from before.
Oh,
I think
might
they
very
are.
well be. But anyway, let's see what else is on the board.
So the other quests, there is merchants looking for armed security to escort us to Fandolin. See Burnian in room 100 for details.
I am going to
Ooh.
immediately be the one that's going to suggest that.
We said we was going to Fandolin for Siegfried, and I, agree that we should take that one as well.
What is Fandale near on the map?
It is closer to Neverwinter up north, and it is off of its own trail.
It is south of the Neverwinter Woods.
Yes, within the Sword
by
Mountains.
City. Yes, which is where
That could
I'm
be-
from.
There is one more that sticks out. It says Lost Arrow. While practicing with a bow, my son lost a trophy arrow. He was practicing just north of here within the forest. Please retrieve this arrow. As an alchemist, I will pay in healing potions. Please see Allwell, room 202. This
yeah.
has a seal in the bottom right, kind of like burned into the paper. Appears to just kind of be just a generic white lotus symbol, kind of just like burned in like as a seal of approval or something.
This one seems like it's pretty simple. We can take care of before we go, and we can take the trip to Phandalin as the long-term one because I doubt they're going to be leaving immediately as we say, "Hey, we want to take this job."
Exactly. Orsk grabs a chair and he steps on it so he can grab up and reach out the arrow contract.
I'll grab the Phandalin contract.
Yeah, why did you want to go there?
Meeting a family friend.
Oh, that's so cute.
Kai, did you want to go with me to secure the merchant job?
Yeah, I'll tag along.
I'll confirm the other mission then.
I'll go with you, Jin.
Okay.
I'm checking out the merchant mission.
Arthrid and I will go with Orsik and Jen to talk about the arrow.
I have Jin, Orsk, Jules, and Arthrid going to the Arrow Quest. Sakai and Mercedes going to Merchant. As you guys are splitting up and begin going down your hallways, just as you leave the main kind of main room, you hear the doors bust open as you see this very kind of tall, eccentric, very colorful, like jester-like character dressed up. And starts throwing out flyers. Come one, come all to the great Tasha's Kiss. Tonight, schedule your time for a private showing with the greatest jester of the lands, Tasha. And you see kind of a few people close to the door. One of them actually like picks up his beer mug and like tosses it at this guy and just like, shut up. No one wanted to go last night. Shut up. Stop bugging us about it. And he kind of like, anyone else? There's plenty of you. Schedule your times now before they fill up.
As in, like, Tasha the Wizard?
Make a history check.
Unless it's Tasha of the famous hideous laughter, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Do you want to deal with it even if it was the real Tasha?
I do want to go to a show that involves the real Tasha, yes.
So, you three know that, no, Tasha's Kiss is not the wizard Tasha, but she named herself after that because of Tasha's hideous laughter is her favorite spell. Tasha's Kiss is a very, very famous jester along the Sword Coast. Travels through putting on big shows, private shows, many things, and is known to pretty much like make anyone laugh even without using her magic. I mean, I could go to a show. I've never been to a circus show before.
We can go see a show, but we're not giving him to the circus.
Anyway,
Okay.
y'all actually want to actually do this Tasha thing?
Yeah, let's do what we
It's
have
probably gonna
first.
be later
We'll
than that.
discuss it later tonight.
As you guys head up one floor to room 202, you find it pretty much right up the stairs, just to the side. It seems like based on the layout, all the 1 beds, first floor, 2 beds, second floor, 3 beds, third floor. I'm assuming you knock.
Yes.
You see this young middle-aged wood elf answer the door. She has short, curled at the edges blonde hair, but shaved on her left side. Kind of these poppy golden eyes that stand out, and kind of very soft and smooth silver skin with 2 large nose piercings. Who answers the door? Hi there. Thank you so much for coming. I assume you're here for the Arrow quest.
Yes. Saw the flare downstairs.
Wonderful, wonderful. Please do come in, all of you. And you guys do notice kind of hanging from her neck that kind of white lotus seal that was on the flyer. She has kind of an amulet that's hanging around her neck with the same type of symbol. And as she ushers you in, these 2 bedrooms have a small kind of common area with a small table and a small couch. It's a very tight fit, for the 4 of you in there, as Arthur just kind of stands off to the side, just still looking down. There's a lost arrow, my son. He's a prized archery shooter, and he got the special kind of golden arrow as a trophy, and he was just north of here, and unfortunately was decided to shoot said arrow and missed the target. I guess it's not a very good arrow. Told him to come back, and we'll get someone experienced to go out there, because who knows what's in those woods. You guys able to retrieve this today? I can have him show you around where he shot it from, so you can locate it easier.
I mean, it's just finding an arrow.
What time is it in the middle of the day?
It is pretty much right around 12:30ish at this point.
It also depends on if you want to go buy tents with Mercedes or not. I would rather look for an arrow than go buy tents.
Well, we have all day here, and it's only high noon. We could take a look at it now, and then later on we could go buy the necessary equipment.
It's hard.
God damn it. Get out. Hey, I mean, we should go take a look.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Why would you say that out loud?
Didn't we have this conversation?
Not that we weren't all thinking it.
Oh, like Orsk covers his mouth. Oh.
Ancient green dragon. Nope, what if I do?
Yeah, if your son would take us to show us where he was archering, then we could look around there.
Yes, certainly. God, come here, please. And you see kind of emerging from a really tiny side room that's probably like was a bathroom at one point. You don't know if he was sitting in the bathroom, if this room was converted to something else, but kind of like the teenage equivalent of a wood elf, probably, in his 40s or so, comes out. He's got this kind of long black hair that kind of just drapes over his face, and he just kind of like swings it back a little bit. Yeah? What do you need? And you see his mother say, "Oh, can you take these people to where you were shooting your bow earlier so they can get your arrow back?" "Mom, I said I don't really care about that arrow." "But honey, you got first place at that competition. It's an important arrow. You want to frame it on the wall and show your kids." "Mom, I'm never gonna have kids." "Oh, don't say that, honey. You'll come around later on. Kids are wonderful. Just wonderful." And she kind of has this like very forced extended smile. Yes, so he'll be glad to show you out, and then come right back, right? You don't go into that forest. All right. And he just kind of like grabs this backpack and slings it over to the side and just kind of stands near the door and just looks over at you guys.
Off we go then.
Yeah, go watch the kid. I'm gonna sit here and talk to the mother for a bit.
He will head out the door as you guys say that and just kind of start walking down the hallway. Doesn't even really look back to see if any of you were following.
Juliet will follow him. Making sure that Arthur is following her.
Arthur kind of mimics this other kid's movements and just kind of like hangs his head and just kind of like walks exaggerated down the hallway, just like he really doesn't want to be here either, and it's just along with the ride. Jin, are you wanting to talk in whispers down below?
All right.
So we will pick back up with Siegfried and Mercedes after I get done with this. Siegfried and Mercedes, you quickly find your way to room 100. So as you knock on the door, you see kind of like middle-aged to like early elderly, if that makes sense. Looks like a male human, kind of wearing just generic farm clothes. You can tell like some of these were cleaned up fairly recently, but there's definitely stains of being out in the fields a lot. Short, very straight and almost pressed auburn hair, with these kind of like recessed black eyes, and very like veiny, muscly, kind of light chocolate colored skin. As he answers the door, very lean build otherwise, and kind of turns his head. "Hello.
Howdy.
How can I help you?" "Oh, please do. Come in. There's not much room in here, but you can find a place. So please sit on the bed, wherever you can find a spot."
I will enter.
I sits on the bed.
Perfect. All
I
right.
shall stand.
I know it's a long way to travel. What
No,
questions
it's
do you have?
What are you offering for the going rate?
I know we're taking this too.
So just further west of a couple days travel of Fandalen is a new settlement being built, a mining outpost of sorts. Apparently another group was attempting to source supplies for this, and they've lost contact with this new settlement. So the ones in charge of building it have had to pay more to source materials from further away. We have a lot of supplies with us, very expensive. So unfortunately, there was another group that got us to here a couple weeks ago. Now we've been camped out, kind of resting, recuperating, waiting for another party like yourself to come forward to escort us further. And in terms of compensation, I don't know exactly how much we're getting paid on arrival. With sparse details other than a good sum promised by a reputable company. So I'm happy to give you 10% of our profits once we get there. Along with that, since it is such a long travel, I'm sure you guys have other things you want to do, especially passing through some major cities and settlements. We're not on quite of a time limit. They know these supplies were coming from far away, and we've actually already been traveling at quite a fast pace, so we could spend, a few days in different places if you'd like to rest up, explore, whatever it be.
Well, I was wondering, because there was 10% of the pay, would there be anything just of a good faith payment? Like, even if it's just like, I don't know, maybe, well, no, there's 6 of us, so I think a decent rate.
There's 6 of you.
Yep.
6 gold?
I can promise you 6. So I'm not the only one in this caravan. There are 10 of us in total. Do you have a cart of your own, or are you able to source one for your people to stay as we travel, so that we don't cramp up more of our carts already? I don't want the living conditions to be god-awful on our many weeks of travel ahead of us.
Yeah, we'll take, because we can't walk the whole way.
Yeah, it looks like we're taking the job. I will shake the man's hand. Siegfried.
Burnon. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
What day are you hoping to ship out? Because we just had one quick job we had to do today.
We're rested and ready to go, so it is up to you. Come back and let me know. I can have the group ready within a couple hours, even if that's necessary, or if you want to say tomorrow or the next day, at daybreak, whatever it be, just let us know and we'll be ready whenever you say.
Mercedes is a businesswoman, so it's like, we'll get that in writing.
He kind of just looks around the small room for a second and pulls out just kind of a scrap piece of parchment and writes up like very vaguely that's
10% of the payment, 10% of the cut.
Burnon Moorhill promises. You said Siegfried was your name? Siegfried and Co. 10% of profits upon arrival in Fandalen for escorting along the way there, with no time limits in particular. And he signs it and hands it over to you, Sig, to also sign.
I'm going to read it over. I'm going to let Mercedes read over it too, because she's more versed in this.
Make general intelligence checks for me. So, Sig, you look over it, you glance over it, you're like, I just want to get to Fandalen. You sign it, hand it over to Mercedes. Mercedes, you look at it quite a bit closer. It's technically legally binding, but it doesn't appear to be that he's trying to misguide you in any way. It says exactly what it should.
And then I'm going to dig in my bag and pull out my letter of introduction. I'll pull out my letter and show that I have, the good work ethic and all that stuff. Good payment records. I'll be like, and then I'll also pull out my apothecary stamp and stamp the corner of the letter that he wrote for us, and be like, just as a proof.
I'll also write down my surname as well on it. The full name is Siegfried Linhart.
She writes her name.
Am I allowed to have it so I can put it in my backpack to let me know we have a proof of contract?
Sure, go ahead.
Wait, what was Siegfried's surname?
Linhart.
Linhart. Kai, do you have a surname, or is it just Kai?
Just Kai.
Oh.
So we're meeting up with the others?
Yep, we should be back downstairs, and I'll excitedly show off to the others that we have an official contract and a good faith payment of 6 gold upon our leaving with the group.
You find Jen down there.
Jen, where did everybody go?
Being told where the location of this arrow may be. They'll be back in the
What do you think?
Oh, we got the contract for the merchant gig. It's even official, and I'll show him the paperwork with the apothecary stamp that I have.
Nice. Did they say when they wanted to leave?
Whenever
When
we're
we're ready.
ready to leave. We're going to need to invest in a cart. So we're going to need to see if in town how much a cart goes for.
So as this conversation is happening, Orsk, Juliet, and Arthrid are following Enengad. Arthrid is like mimicking his movements. Arthrid like understands this man at a spiritual level, and mimics everything he does. As he just kind of leads you out the same gate you guys came in, and then starts heading back the way you guys came a little bit up the road.
I want to ask the kid, did you really shoot the arrow and lose it? Or did something else happen to it?
I mean, I shot it. Went into the woods. Was told not to go in the woods.
You've never asked her why?
She never answers me.
Interesting.
You just do what mom says. Be on my own at some point.
Still young. You're what, 47?
She kind of looks at you and is taken aback. 42, thank you. What are you, like, 30?
You're not too far off. Anyway, so you really lost the arrow in the woods, but you can't go in the woods. Can I insight check
Oh.
that?
Go ahead.
I am so good at insight. I believe him.
Oh,
He
no.
seems on the level. He's...
Kid lost the arrow in the woods. Not supposed to go in the woods, bro. You gotta listen to what mom says.
Now I'm picturing
Go.
elves as those moms with the flip-flops.
With the chunkla?
Yes, thank you.
Chunkla.
She's a Karen.
Ah, the chunk there.
And after about 25 minutes, you get to. He kind of walks off the road a ways, and it's probably about 150 feet from the forest line. And you can see there is a lot of arrow holes into a tree that he points at. Looks like maybe 200, 250 different arrow marks just like eroded into this tree. No arrows in it currently. And he just points, shooting at that, and went to the side and flew in.
Joe, so it's just past there? Alright, let's go take a look.
She will ask him to watch Arthrid while they search, if that's okay.
This is a bad idea.
Yeah, sure.
They seem to be vibing, so we're gonna...
Either both of you make perception checks or one of you with advantage.
Him with advantage.
I don't know, it's a 3 and a 5. I don't know why I rolled that much. Like, I just clicked on it once.
Oh!
Orsik with a 3 and a 5.
Mhm.
You begin walking up, and you kind of like, you start to pass this tree off to the side that's been like pelted with arrows. Man, this shit's cool. Like, if it was him shooting these arrows, like, he's accurate.
With the right tutelage and the right teacher, he could become one of the greats.
Although he doesn't seem to care about it much. I think maybe he's pursuing archery because his mom wants him to. I mean, he doesn't really seem to care that he lost this particular arrow, but it seems like it's a big deal to his mom. Can we continue a little bit past the tree and continue looking for an arrow?
As you two begin to walk in, and Orsk, you kind of take a glance back at the tree one more time, and you're still thinking about all this. Suddenly you hear, snap! Orsk, you feel this burning sensation.
Oh god,
Start
no.
from your right ankle, start to just grow up your leg. Time starts to kind of move in slow motion.
Oh,
As you look down, you've stepped in a bear trap.
oh
Oh,
god.
no.
Ah!
Where's
Ah!
there's a
Did
bear
not
trap
mean
in
this
You
it.
today.
take
Ah!
9 points of piercing damage as this trap grabs onto your leg. You heard some bone. Like, this thing has embedded itself in his bone leg. But Orsk, you know this feeling in your leg that's spreading up is burning. And not
Poison?
only do you take 9 piercing damage,
Yeah.
you take another 4 poison damage.
Oh, now as a dwarf, I have resistance to poison. So would that?
Okay, so you take
yeah,
2.
have- Okay. Why does this have to happen to me? Ah!
or the damage sponge.
Juliet, help me get out of this trap, please.
I would like to help try to open this bear trap.
Okay, go ahead and make a general strength check for me.
That is a skill that I
Nice.
have.
Look how strong she is.
Well, you know, when
She
you
rolled a
said
nat
something
20.
with a DC of 20 and your player rolls a 23, like, it kind of hurts. Orsk, you see this city girl, right? You know,
Uh-huh.
not used to the woods, not used to hunt, bend down, one knee, grab the back of this trap, and rip it open. Man, that hurts again. These spikes coming out hurt just as much as they come in. And now
You're doing
blood
great.
starts to pour even more. You take another halved would be 3 poison damage. And
How'd
you
you get it
begin to
off?
hear wolves in the background, barking and howling.
Shit.
Juliet, this arrow isn't worth it. Let's get out of here.
Juliet, make a perception check for me. Orsk, make one with disadvantage.
No, no.
Because your leg is gushing blood and it
Oh,
currently
God.
hurts.
Okay. Our friends are dead. I'm successful.
Don't
Bro.
What the heck?
Whoa,
Yo, he is
whoa,
straight
stop.
hesitating.
What's it keep going? I don't understand. Oh my
Jeez,
god!
they're shitless.
I literally
That's
just click it
wild.
once and it's like a wall.
So the first two, a 13 and a natural 1, creating a 2. Your leg hurts, bro. Like this is a trap meant for like a big bear. You take another 1 poison damage. While you're trying to look around, you heard those wolves. You don't hear them right now. Neither do you, Juliet. But Juliet, what you do see, about 15 feet into the woods, a gleaming golden arrow sticking straight up.
Before I go, can I do a real quick check for any traps?
Sure, make another perception check.
I would
Traps.
love to. Cool. There's an arrow there. It's very exciting.
You glance back. Orsk's leg is still bleeding.
He's okay.
Okay.
Am I though?
Are you dead?
No, not yet.
I love the like whisper conversations that's happening in the Roll20 chat too while this is happening. So you glance back at his leg. You look back. You see a gleam kind of about probably 10 feet in front of you. You don't see any traps, but it's pretty thick foliage.
I'm gonna do the nice thing, the right thing. How much does Oryx weigh?
Oh no. I don't like this at all. Let's see. So he's 4'11", but he's stout. So I'm gonna say probably 150, right? Mostly muscle, but he has like a small gut.
You can at half movement carry him if you would like. I'm pretty sure they're fine. You have a paladin. They're doing great. Meanwhile, while you're picking him up, you take another 1 point of poison damage, Orsk.
I would like to pick him up. If he's okay with, if he's like, please don't pick me up, then I will obviously respect his consent. But if he is not, I will absolutely pick him up and like over the shoulder, like you would carry like a baby lamb.
Juliet, we don't speak of this to anyone. I don't know what you're doing, but please make it fast. I don't want the wolves coming close.
We're just gonna backtrack out of the woods where we've already stepped, so that I know that we're not gonna hit a trap.
Juliet, make a dexterity check with disadvantage, please. Meanwhile, Orsk, you take another 2 poison damage. Like your whole body is
a
burning
19.
from this poison. Okay, so you're trying to back your way out. You have an Orsk on your shoulder. You feel the blood from his leg dripping down your body. You kind of lose sight in this heavy foliage of where you stepped. And just at the last minute, you're about to put your foot down as you turn around, and you notice a gleam. And you don't know if it's a trap or if it's a wet blade of grass, but you step around it. And sure enough, as you pass it, you notice there was another trap there that you guys missed on the way in. But you successfully backtrack your way out of the forest. 1 more set. You take another 3 poison damage. That is already halved Orsk. Juliet, from the waist down, you're pretty covered in Orsk's blood now. Like 10 different spike wounds bleeding. Like
fine.
Jugular bleeding? Or not jugular,
There's
but
so much.
femoral?
Part of the body.
Sorry.
Why is this jugular bleeding?
Femoral bleeding.
God, he's so
Um,
short.
Yeah, hit him in the neck. But you are now out of the forest. You see Arthur and Enengad up ahead, actually sitting on the ground talking to each other, and Arthur is laughing currently. So you don't know whether or not to look at them or Orsk, who is still bleeding, but you're out of the forest.
I'm gonna like very ungracefully set Oryx down.
Ah!
But don't worry, you take another 2 poison damage.
I hate this.
I'm gonna go ahead and do my lay on hands for 5 points on him.
As she hovers over, and you see these kind of 10 different spike wounds start to slowly just begin healing themselves as the skin just reaches out and like crosses over and connects with itself.
We saw where the arrow was, and I know where at least 2 traps are, and one's already been set off, so I think I could make it.
Okay, good, because if I go back in there and I step on another trap, I would probably die.
I won't let you die.
Just get the arrow, please.
Cool. I'm gonna go try to get the arrow, please.
Make a perception check for
I
me.
would love to. I am so good at those. A 17.
Oh, thank God.
You begin to kind of slowly make your way through. You notice a couple traps that you didn't notice before as you get further into the forest, where Orsk was just impaled. You make sure not to step on that trap as you have reopened it now. And you expertly make your way and you grab up the arrow and you turn around and man, there's like another 20, 30 feet of forest ahead of you to get out again.
Awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get out again.
Make another perception check for me.
Oh,
At
no.
advantage.
A 14?
On your way out, you're about 5 feet from the exit. You know, Orsik is leaning up against a tree, encouraging you. You still see Arthur and Enengad laughing, and you're like, sweet, I've made it out. Snap! As you take
Beautiful.
18 points of piercing damage.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, how much?
18, 1/8, and 4 points of poison damage as there's a trap in your leg. This one's bigger.
Orsk hears the trap go off. At least I hope, right? If not,
Yeah,
I'm
you're like 10 feet away. You can see her. She was
Okay.
like smiling. She's like, I'm almost out. You saw her face go from yay to oh shit very fast.
Okay, I don't need legs.
So Orsk hobbles over ready, and he looks at the trap, and he's like, "Oh god, hold on, I'll get you out."
I cast guidance on him.
Okay, go ahead. And roll a strength check for me.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and roll regularly then. Hold on.
A 9?
Yeah, a 9.
You pull on this trap. It's a bigger trap than before. You unfortunately, like, still wounded and winded, Juliet. You take another 4 poison damages. This burning
Amazing.
that Orsk is very familiar with.
I'm gonna take out my thieves' tools and see if I can't break apart the mechanical components that, like, you know, have this trap, like, you know, spring-loaded, right?
Okay, make a general dexterity check and add your proficiency bonus. Let's see. So, how are you curing yourself of poison?
Lay on hands.
You whip out your tools and you're as fast as you can, you know, pit crew style, unscrew this trap, but it definitely releases some pressure, and it's not spring loaded into your leg anymore. And so easily enough, now that it's not spring loaded, you are able to pull it apart, in which that hurts too, just about as much as it went in, but you know, it's out now. And I'll say, since you used lay on hands, it stabilizes the bleeding too.
It's good news, guys. I got the arrow.
Great. Now let's get the hell out of here.
As Enengad arrives after running straight towards you. Arthur's still sitting down on the road. But Enengad gets there. Oh, okay. You fixed it. That's
I think
fine.
I figured out why
And
you're
he-
not supposed to go in the woods. Juliet's gonna put the arrow, like, through her, you know, like when you put pencils in your ponytail? She's gonna store it up there, that style.
Head
Framing
back.
needs you to carry me, or sick.
Carry you? I can
Yeah.
barely carry myself.
I carried you when you needed it.
Ah,
I'm
Orsk's
I
gonna
think
attempt
be
to
fine.
carry
We'll
her,
just
right?
awkwardly limp together, like some sort of three-legged race, except for it's more like a 2.5, because we both suck.
Listen, if anybody asks, it was an owlbear. No, 2
Right.
owlbears.
2 owlbears. As long as we're on the same page.
I'm sure that's a believable story. And him and Arthur would start walking like ahead of you guys. Like, you're both kind of limping at this point. Your leg's still hurting. They're just walking on ahead of you. And they're actually talking. They
Oh,
seem to be
that's
talking
really
like
nice.
really, really quietly, and they're about 30 feet in front of you, but they're definitely chatting, and every once in a while Arthur giggles.
Are they speaking common
Perception check.
with advantage because I'm really good at languages?
Sure.
Yes! Fuck, it's still a 7. I don't know, they're just like talking and my leg hurts. This is
That's
fine.
exactly it.
Guys,
Exactly it.
on a scale of 1 to 28, I feel about a 2.
Oh, I feel about a 9 on a scale of 27. So.
Hey!
Jesus.
This was supposed to be such an easy, just retrieve mission. You two do
We just really didn't want to go tent shopping, okay?
So, anyways, probably at your slower pace, about 45 minutes later, you get back to the inn. Juliet and Orsk both leaving and going in. You noticed a big multi-level, like, light-up wagon just to the side of the inn that says Tasha's Kiss on it.
Hey, oh my god, you doing right?
What happened?
I'm doing great. There were owlbears?
Yes, a pair of owlbears. They were
And both
mates.
of you
Yes,
to make a
they
perception
attacked
check
us.
for me.
Can I insight all of this?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
absolutely. Now, since it's Juliet and I doing it, I feel like one of us should do it with advantage, but with the higher modifier.
Go ahead.
I think that's me, probably. I'd also like to cast guidance on myself when we lie.
Well, are you trying to hide the fact that you're casting a spell on yourself?
I'm not actually gonna cast guidance on myself. I was joking.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Jen, you think they're two owlbear story? This something doesn't add up with their wounds, and they're definitely trying to hide something.
Really? You two gotta talk about Owlbears.
Two of them. Yeah, it was really tough, but
That's right.
Can I have a look at their wounds? Because I have a medical proficiency with medicine checks, and that would really tell me exactly what the fuck's going on.
I just need a good night's sleep.
we just need a nap. Oh, guys, got this arrow though. I'm gonna pull it out of my hair and use it as a distraction.
Oh wow!
So,
not
do
want
you
me to
guys
look at your
allow?
wounds, though?
Do you guys
If
allow
you must.
Mercedes to look at your wounds?
So I need to make
you
two separate
insist.
checks.
Like,
One
I don't
for
think I
one
can
for.
physically stop her.
I'd say just make
One
one
from-
general medicine check for looking at them.
I will cast guidance on myself because I want to make sure I'm diagnosing you right. 18.
These are not owlbear wounds. An owlbear bite would have a lot closer together teeth marks. An owlbear scratch would not have impale marks like this. This was not an owlbear.
That's right. It was two owlbears.
Okay, so I'm looking at these wounds and looking at how adamant they are about trying to stick to the story, and I'm gonna go, yes, owlbears.
Yeah.
It was owlbears.
Oh, by the way, good news. We got the job for the Fandolin one.
They're gonna give us 6 gold, plus 10% on payment when we get them to Phandalin. We
So
are
they
gonna
put
have
'em
to
on-
buy a cart, though.
Yes, that reminds me. After when these wounds are dressed, I'm gonna have to buy a tent since you mentioned it before.
We should get a total of 4.
I was actually thinking, so he gets along really well with Godfrey over there, and he Godfrey's mom is an alchemist, and I'm just saying that our friend is magically inclined, so maybe we could apprentice him to an alchemist because that's respectable, not the circus. Yes. Regardless of how cool the wagon is.
No one's selling the child. We're just gonna
We're-
watch it with the child.
Right, we can take him to it, and then I think that maybe an alchemist's apprentice might be a nice place for us to, keep him for the time being. I can send money back to help cover his expenses, and that sort of thing is frequently arranged.
I'll give Orsik and Juliet some healing word. So 5 points for Orsik and
I also like that we're taking
Uh,
necrotic damage as well.
Right?
you need a little bit of the sting from the spores, but you're not really. I just
Right.
accidentally have the damage modifier clicked on. I should have turned it off. I'm just gonna look and just say, Owlbears, really?
Owlbears.
Here's a gold coin. Don't say anything more.
Well, look at him, and I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna say, you're just making it worse by giving me money like this.
I'm
gonna take it. I already took it. I'm gonna put Orsk gold coin in the community pot. Can I find out how much it costs to get a cart? Is that even something we can buy in this town?
You can get prices. There is a place to get it. Draft horse to kind of pull. They are 50 gold apiece. And then a cart is 15, but if you want an actual wagon to ride in, it is 35. A donkey or a mule is 8 gold apiece. Unless you want to get 2 mules, they can collectively do 840 pounds. Say we will end here and we can have some pre-session stuff or in the week ahead.